So a friend has asked me to do a rundown of this cool room trailer, so I thought I'd just give it a crack. This is an air conditioner. So there's a piece of technology called a Coolbot. It comes from the States, and essentially it just trips the air conditioner with a little simple thermometer. So we've got a thermometer that gives the outside temperature, and then a thermometer that goes into the fin up here. And the air conditioner, it's not on at the moment. You can see it's 10 degrees there. But this will go down to 2 to 4 degrees, and I can set that to setting. There's a bunch of forums that will say that air conditioners cannot bring a room down to 2 to 4 degrees, but they're wrong, because I've kept my vegetables stored in here for 2 and a bit years now, and the reason for doing this is probably twofold. One, we get about 40% energy saving on electricity, so that's a win for the environment, for my budget, and two, it is much cheaper to repair in its cost. So to get a service electrician out to do a conventional compressor costs a lot of money, whereas to get a AC fixed, it's the same as in the home. So there's a couple of things that are special about the room itself, which is that this material is 100 mil thick, which is thicker than normal, and it's a particular type of expanded EPS. I need to double check that, I've forgotten, but its R value, its insulation value, is higher than the standard. And so the air conditioner only turns on about 1/10 of the time, so for the vast majority it's not on. It's particularly doesn't need to turn on the more thermal mass that I'm storing in here, so obviously right now there's hardly any thermal mass, and so the room is going to cool down much quicker. But if I put water in here, chilled that water, is probably the most effective at when the cool room turns on, it cools on, keeps the thermal mass of the water nice and high, or whether it's all your carrots, etc. Whereas the conventional compressor, I think, turns on much more frequently. Got a little light installed. We put these brackets in to hang CSA bags and just extra room, whereas the cool room size is only 4 foot, 1.2 by 6 foot long. And then it's quite tall, so it's actually 7 foot high. And I did that because that was the easiest way to keep a 4x6 trailer, but also expand my room of space to be able to stack crates. There shouldn't be an electricity cord there, but I had a problem with the fix. Normally the power's connected through there, so that's a temporary solution. Other things to note. Oh, now it's got a bell on a trap thing. That was a requirement from the people that made this in Baronia, KC Hire. And then I think Vic Refrigeration came and installed this Mitsubishi. It's 2.1 kilowatt air conditioner. You need to look at the Store It Cold website, which sells the Coolbot, and that has so much information about how to design them, which air conditioners work. Not all air conditioners will work. This is a mini split air conditioner, so there's that, and then the split unit is on the front side, hence mini split. And what else to say? That machine I think cost around $600 to $800, and then installation costs quite a lot, about another I think $800 to $1,000. The light was $100, but I think you could probably get past that if you just put an LED sort of thing rather than a proper switch. But the dudes at the refrigeration, because you need to be installed with a Frigi license to be able to put one of these machines in. There's an alternative way to do it though. You could get a window box air conditioner, and I believe you'd have to check this up, but I think you might not need a Frigi license, or maybe that's just in America. Again, not for me to comment. Other things to mention: the cool room I got custom built because of the materials, and that cost another forgotten. I think around $5,000. So all up, it's about $7K, which is more than most. You could buy a used cool room for maybe $3K. But again, when you have to get a conventional compressor fit service, that's going to cost you, I think, around $1,000 or something like that. Maybe someone in the comments could suggest what a price would be, because I'm not familiar. But whereas this would be a lot cheaper, hasn't broken down in 3 years, and also I don't really notice the energy cost on my electricity bill, which as a household and running this unit, our house for a 3-bedroom place uses less than 5 to 7 kilowatt hours through winter and summer. But me and my partner don't really use air conditioning and heating because we are environmental freaks. What else? Galv painting, because you don't want the main drawbar to rust, so I paid extra money to have that rust resistant. And I don't know, there's a couple other random things. It's easy to drive, you can bring it to market. I get my CSA customers all pick up from here, so I don't have to be at home or whatever. They just come and pick up. There's not too much more to say about it. You can run a CSA in a small farm without a cool room. So the first year I didn't have this, and it just means you get up really early in summer, harvest, and then I put them into little esky bags. Sorry for the lorikeets, though they're wonderful too. You put stuff in an esky bag, freeze some cooler bricks, and then customers can still pick up. You just put it in the shade, or I also source like a 200 litre esky box. But yeah, the more food you grow, so this will easily host $1,000 of product or 25 crates stacked not very efficiently. The other way to do it with the small cool room, because some farmers will get much larger cool room, is either to have 2 of these or to do 2 harvests during the week and split your crops as well, such as like tomatoes that don't need to be stored in the cool room. So there's lots of ways to work with a small cool room and make it quite efficient. Other things and thoughts would be sometimes restaurants or like community houses will sometimes have huge cool rooms built in, and you could look at putting product there without having to fork out money for the cool room. But the real reality is, like, fridges don't really do you once you're past a few $100s of produce each week that needs refrigerating. And the bonus to having this is that you don't have to get up as early in the morning. You can do harvest over multiple days, and I suppose transport of that. And at a rental property like mine for my urban business, to be able to have a cool room that I didn't need to build on site when we leave this place, we can just take the cool room and go, just put it at a new site. That's pretty handy. I think that's all my thoughts. If you've got more questions, maybe just put them in the comments and I can try and be helpful from there. Cool. See you. And this is because Julia asked me to make a video explaining. Oh, one last thing. The cool room and air conditioner does require some maintenance. So every 2 weeks, I have to come with like a paintbrush and get the dust that collects on these coils. Otherwise the machine doesn't operate as efficiently and it makes more noise. Yeah, other than that, pretty simple. Ciao.